It's 2026, so naturally everyone around you is token maxing, trying to spend as much money as possible and waste as much money on AI token credits. This makes absolutely no sense at all. I happen to believe that if you need the token, go ahead and use it. Use the response that comes from the AI. But if you don't need it, don't spend money on it. I wrote a blog about this where you can actually mock out the responses. I'm a big fan of using service mocks, service virtualization, to mock out systems that you don't need and save money in the process. So I've got this diagram here that sort of shows the methodology of how this works. Okay, so let's say you have a backend API and it makes calls to LLM providers. Like, it doesn't actually matter which one, it works for any of them, and you want to record the calls when you're really using the LLM and getting the responses, and then store them, save them, and replay them from a cache. This is all powered by a free tool called proxymock. I'm one of the developers on proxymock and happy to share it with everyone. It's a useful tool, especially for desktop use. So I'm going to show you an example app here. This is a support application where you can take a support case and send it to an AI agent to score it. Okay, the architecture of the app is here. All of this is available on GitHub. You can see the code for it. So there's a front-end component, back-end API, and a little tool service, and then this is the part we're real interested in, the LLM providers. We want to record them when we're using them and then mock them out. So I'm actually running these three components on my machine here: the tools, the back end, and the front end. So what we need to do is take the back end here and install proxymock as part of this. So there's a proxymock record command, and then all you have to do is hit -- and put the original command of how you run the code here and paste it behind that. So this is it. This will start a recording session. You'll see the log up above that showed, now we've got kind of new information in the log. We can see that proxymock has started, and then after that, we can see the backend API has started. Now, if we come here to this, I've got a couple different tickets in here and different providers, just as a fun test. So different ones, and you can hit this test all models. Okay, and this will actually kick off 12 different calls. Actually, each time it makes 3 calls to the LLM, because it's a 3-step process. So the faster LLMs like the Mini and Nano, they come back pretty quick. And we can see, this is not an earth-shattering amount of money here. This costs less than 1 penny to run the 3 calls. You can actually see the triage call, the analysis call, and the response call. So that's how this application works to score the tickets. But this can start to add up over time. Okay, so you might notice that it's not just 1 cent. Actually, just in a minute or so of running these, I've already run up 50 cents. And okay, Ken, 50 cents is not going to bankrupt me. What ends up happening is when you put this in your CI pipeline, when you have a hook that runs this all the time, believe me, I know, because I've gotten a surprise bill from our test environment that's even more expensive than actually paying for a subscription. Okay, so after the collection of all the calls to all the systems, we can see the total amount was 40 cents. Okay, well, how do I turn this recording into a mock? So first of all, I'm going to drop the command here. It's created a directory here with recordings from each of the calls. I don't feel like reading the markdown files right now, so there's a tool called proxymock web, and this will actually show me all of the exact calls that are made. So here's the calls to Grok, here's the calls to Google, and so on. So, and each one of these you can click into, get information about it, see exactly how application responded, including the actual response body that's returned. There's also calls to a localhost endpoint, and like I said, it works for all of them. Here's a call to ChatGPT, and I can see here in the body similar kind of response. They all have a similar type of shape where you see, well, actually Anthropic's a little bit different. It's got a lot of HTTP headers in here, but you can see in the body that it's returning a structured response body here. So this dashboard is useful so that you can scroll through and see your traffic, identify if there's any issues, that kind of thing. You also get the latency. I mean, you can see this call took 17 seconds to complete, and you can explore, hey, why did that happen? Okay, so that's one part of it. I can do a recording and capture the traffic. But if you want to save the money, which is kind of the whole point here, then you flip it from the record mode to the mock mode. All the rest of this is the same. Let me get that command again. This is this unicorn command. Okay, so now I'm going to run proxymock mock. It will use the directory here. If you have more than one recording, you can point at it and tell it which one. So that's it. It runs the mock and it runs the app. And if we come back to our support triage, I'm just going to refresh. This should reset the screen here. And now I'm going to say test all the models. And boom, I just saved 42 cents. So I didn't have to spend it. And you might have noticed it returned really fast. By default, it takes all the delays out, because who wants to wait when you are doing that kind of mocking? And you can imagine, hey, I this code, test it again, change this code, test it again, change this code, test it again. All of a sudden, you're starting to save kind of a material amount of money here, and actually put in a little analysis to understand which ones are the most expensive. Don't read into this too deeply. It's just a simple demo app, but it can give you an idea of which ones cost more, why are they costing more, and how much would this cost if I was running this all the time. Naturally, before you got a $100,000, bill, hopefully you would drill in and figure out why is this so expensive. But just an idea that depending on how many times you are running this system, you will continuously save the money. So this is a great alternative. There's other things you can do. You can run local LLMs. You don't always have to call out to the live one. But this idea of using the cache, using a free tool like proxymock is super helpful and very easy to set up. You can read more about this on this blog. I'll include a link to the blog in this video. And if you've got questions for me, please, we've got a free Slack community. Join our Slack community and reach out. Thank you very much.